And welcome back to the Chicago Bears franchise rebuild. Here today, we will be going through the 3 preseason games, all the highlights, and any sort of roster changes that I have decided to make after the offseason. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I hope you're all having a great day. Please leave a like, comment down below what you thought of today's action, and don't forget to subscribe. Well, as you guys can see, I've been going through doing the training camp here. And one player got to star development here in Dexter, in Grover Dexter here. Dexter is an outstanding young defensive tackle, and he has finally made it up to star development, and this is huge for him. Going into year 3, he's now, he's almost ranked to the top 32 defensive tackles, and I think this is his year to now make the massive leap. Guys, I do hope the audio stuff and the images all really work out in today's episode. I am working on a different setup today. Over the last few months now, there's been a lot of movement in my life personally, and so I'm sorry for both the delay with a lot of the videos and everything, but I'm hoping within these upcoming months, I can get back into full-time content creating for you guys, as we normally expect. But what happened to after the off season? And let's just do a little bit of refresher. Let's look at this roster as of this moment in time, as we have Justin Fields still as our starting quarterback. I mean, I went into the off season not expecting to have Justin as our quarterback entering, as we traded up to the 3rd overall pick and then trading back out of it. But Fields is still our quarterback. He's still our guy. The expectation for him is to finally make this leap here. He's in the top 16 quarterbacks in our franchise. It's time for him to take this leap here and take us from a below 500 team to now to the postseason. We made a trade here for Tyler Algier, and I went out in free agency and brought in 3 veteran backs here: Justin Hill, Jamal Williams, and Ezekiel Elliott. One of these 3 guys is going to make the roster, and it's one of our bigger competitions. One of the other veterans that I brought in is Michael Thomas. Can he find a role on this offense somewhere? If not, he would be a potential trade piece or something like that. I don't know just yet. In the first round, with one of our first picks, we drafted the best player overall-wise in Johnny Derby here. Johnny is an excellent center. He's going to play guard for us in his first season and maybe in his second year as well. But, the only thing that I think we have to work on is his run blocking a little bit. So, as a pass protector, it should really help out Justin, and that's what I care about. Flipping it over to the defense, not too many veteran moves that I really brought in. Past after the offseason video. A couple in the secondary. Marcus Peters, he's going to have an opportunity potentially to even make this roster here. I brought Peters in for that veteran presence, and hopefully he can help out in some sort of way. As well as I brought in Marcus May. We definitely need some safety help, especially trading away Jamal Adams, and Marcus has an opportunity to at least be the 3rd safety on this roster. Overall, there is a lot of competition across the board. I would sit here and say wide receiver, running back, there's definitely spots open. Defensively is who's going to be the other rush defensive tackle, who's going to be the other Mike linebacker between Steven Timmons and Tyler Chapman, between Kyle Gordon and Stevenson here. Will either one of them make the roster? They're 2 young players that could be good trade candidates here. Will Robinson make the roster? Someone that I have not talked about is Chuck Gardner, who we drafted 8th overall. Is Gardner going to be going to get how many chances is he going to get to be the starter? Disclaimer, guys, I am going to be changing the numbers after all the roster cuts are made. We have 75 players, so not all of these guys are going to keep the same numbers, especially our rookies. Flipping it over to the safety position, will Eddie Jackson stay the starter? There's a lot of even depth players at the linebacking spot, so we'll see. But I'm expecting a lot of things from this team entering now into year number 3. It's time for this team to take the next necessary step, and it starts here today. So let's get into the first preseason here versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. We will go through all 3 games, some of them more in depth than others, but we'll get into it. Let's have some fun, guys. And here is the first preseason game here versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Justin Fields versus Trevor Lawrence. I know I didn't look at the Jags roster, but we're going to be seeing, you know, a lot of different players, a lot of the youth of this roster. Of course, we did not draft a quarterback first overall. We drafted in the 4th round Christian Murray. Is Christian Murray going to get an opportunity this season to start? Well, I'm going to say it like this to you guys, just to answer that question for you guys. We're going to give him a ton of reps in this preseason, and I want to see him take the most advantage of his opportunities. I'm excited to see what the young rookie can do. You guys did get to see him throw a little bit with the training camp arm, and we'll see what he can do. Let's get into the first preseason game. We'll probably go through a couple drives with the backups and everything, but we'll get into it. Let's have some fun, guys. Well, Justin Fields entering into now year number 5. Can solidify himself and get himself a new contract here in Chicago? We'll start with a run here with Tyler Algier, who we traded for, and Algier is able to rumble and tumble for 15. Very excited to have Tyler Algier. He's expected to be the starting running back here. Between him and DJ Cash, second-year undrafted running back here, he will get 2 yards. Remember, no more Khalil Herbert. Herbert's now in Washington. I actually looked at his contract, and I kind of wish I made an offer to him, but of course I didn't. Here comes the first pass here for Fields, and he can't hit Tyler Scott. It's incomplete. Now, you might be wondering, what's going to be the change with this offense entering now into year number 3? You know, we've established that DJ Moore, who just makes this catch here, can make a ton of plays for us. He can do a lot for this team. We've established that Justin has a ton of athletic ability, but who can really step into that next man type of up role for this team? And I don't know just yet, as Walker here gets the sack over Fields. I don't know just yet, but I want this offense to be a run-first type of team. Get the ball to DJ, get the ball to these young receivers, and see what we can do here. I want Cole Kmet to be more involved, and hopefully we can do so, but the right side of this offensive line is not showing up right now here for Fields. So we'll face a 3rd down and long here. And hoping second-year wide receiver Kendall Bush will be able to step up in a big-time way. But this pass over the middle is going to be picked off here, and that's Brandon Lloyd here. And Lloyd will go back to right around the 36-yard line. Let's go see this new unit of this defense here, and Justin Fields throws first of his interceptions. Devin Lloyd, excuse me, was the player who picked it off. A few new starters across this defense right now. You know, we have Chuck Gardner out there, the rookie defensive end here. Kyle Gordon is getting the opportunity in the slot right now. Eddie Jackson's playing free safety, but I'm excited for this unit here. We were one of the best teams in terms of stopping the run, and I'm hoping the 2 young defensive tackles can step into those roles here. Tremaine Edmonds is still here. Hopefully that he can make some plays. CJ Gardner-Johnson is still on this team. We still have a ton of talent on this defense. It's just now time to put both the offense and the defense need to play together and cohesively. And hopefully here in year 3 we can do so. 3rd down now. And here comes Travis Etienne here, and Etienne is able to get 7. We're relying a lot of young talent here on the defensive side of the ball. And, you know, Chuck Gardner, can he step up into a big-time role as a rookie? You know, who else will be able to step up? And here's Jalen Johnson forcing Trevor Lawrence to slide. But overall, like I've said, this defense has its core. Tremaine Edmonds, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Jalen Johnson here. It's the young talent around them is who will grow and develop into these starters. And, you know, that's Max Cox. That's Tyler Chapman, Steven Timmons, Dexter, Martinez. Who's going to be the guy to take that next step and really help this team and carry this team moving forward as Jacksonville finds themselves into plus territory? This is a good opportunity here for this defense here to try to force them not to be in the end zone, and they get in. Touchdown, Calvin Ridley, scoring here for Jacksonville. Let's move into the second quarter here. Justin Fields is out there. You know, right now, no more DJ Moore. We have a couple still starters, you know, across the offensive line. But Justin Hill, this is the first opportunity to look at Hill. And for the rest of this preseason game, I want to look at these veteran backs and see really who can step into this, you know, basically number 2 running back role for this offense. Right now, Cole Kmet is dealing with an injury, so he's out right now. He's sacked here. But Cole Kmet got injured. Jerry Gray caught a long touchdown that you guys probably saw just a little bit of a glimpse of, or at least just the highlight of it. So we have Jerry Gay out there at tight end. He's going to be starting for the rest of the way. He's number 88 as of right now. We have a lot of young receivers out here. Let's turn to Gay here. What a catch here. And he has a ton of raw speed and athletic ability. And I think Jerry has a true opportunity here to become our future at tight end. He has hidden development. He's a big play waiting to happen. But of course, as we enter closer and closer into the red zone, I want to see which one of these backs here can really stand out. As of right now, our offensive line is not giving Justin Hill that much of a chance to run here. Let's spread out this defense here on second down and long. See if they can really handle the youth of our receivers. Here comes Fields, looks to throw, tries to line up. That pass is batted down. It's a third down and 12. Staying in the empty look here is Fields. Looks to throw. Setting up a tight end screen here. Here comes Jerry now. Jerry with blockers in front of him. He'll make this a 4th down and medium. 4th down and 6 here. It's preseason. Might as well go for it. Fields takes it. Looks to throw. Stepping up now. So he's going to slide safely for 9. Our set of downs here for Fields as we're trying to take the lead here in the Week 1 preseason game. Here's Matt Dumb, the speed, touchdown Chicago. Matt Dumb, the second-year speedster, is still just running his way into the end zone. Touchdown Chicago. So we'll take the lead here, and he's going to just continue to run his way, potentially into a starting opportunity. As we're moving into the second half here, we have a tied-up ball game, and now rookie quarterback drafted in the 4th round, Christian Murray, is taking over here in preseason week number 1. Very excited for Christian. You know, he's a young quarterback. Finally, we have someone new here, and he's going to get a lot of opportunities. His first throw goes for 15 to Jerry Gay, another rookie receiver. Now, of course, the question is this truly a competition between Murray and Justin Fields? I think there can be arguments to be made on both sides. But right here, right now, I just want to see what Murray can truly just do. Can he make the necessary throws when we ask him to? Can he make the necessary plays if we need him to run? But right here, right now, 2 for 2 start here versus the backups of Jacksonville. It's not like it's impressive, but it's impressive nevertheless. We also have Jamal Williams out up there at running back. We're giving him an opportunity. You know, we want to see what these veterans can do. Same here with Mo Ali Cox here, who's expected to be our third tight end. We brought him in here to be the blocking tight end. Sticking with the 2 tight end formation here on 2nd down and 4. Here's Williams again, up the gut. Doesn't go far. Okay, Christian, it's 3rd down now here. Can you pick up this 1st down? Takes the snap, he looks to throw. Now he's going to look to scramble, slide safely here for 7. He's not really known to run the football too much, but it looks like he can do it when necessary, and that's what we kind of need from him. You know, we're very used to having Justin on this offense and him being able to extend the plays when normal players wouldn't be able to. Here comes, though, Murray down the field. It's just overthrown. He got hit. It'll be a 2nd down and 10 here. Murray in the shotgun. Right back to this aerial attack. Slings it over the middle, and that pass is just off the mark. It's Johnny. He's our 1st-round pick. He's shaken up again. In truth, that's one of the last things you want to see is injuries to starters. Here's Murray. Back to this aerial attack here on 3rd down. Doesn't hit his man. It'll be a 4th down and 10, and it's preseason, so we'll go for it. Christian, 4th down and 10. Got to get right around inside the 25. Here's Murray, looks to throw. Wants Jerry. Jerry holds on, but it's a 4th down. Turnover on down, so Jacksonville will take over here. Why not? Let's accommodate some of this backup defense here in preseason week 1 here. We have a couple of our younger defensive tackles out there, as well as a couple different players trying to fight for roster spots. The 2 young defensive tackles here are McKinney and Watkins here, who are more pass rushers. Watkins we drafted in the 2nd round. He has a legitimate opportunity here to play the edge rushing snaps, but Wolf can't bring down the back here. Thankfully, Abram can shove him out of bounds. Gardner is expected to play this entire game. We have a couple players like that, especially on the younger end. We also have Kyle Gordon, Steven out there. And this is Robinson with a big-time sack, who's expected to be more of our 3rd edge rusher. And he's providing some necessary rush here in the preseason, and he should be winning. You know, he is one of our better pass rushers on this team. We have a lot of pass rush depth here, as this pass by Andrews is thrown to the dirt. We have so much young, raw talent out there. And here's another screen for this 3rd down and forever. And this is Steven Timmons here with an excellent tackle. This will be a 4th down, and I assume that Jacksonville will take the 3. And after one preseason game here, the first week of the preseason, Chicago has lost to the Jags about 34-21. Well, Justin Fields was the only quarterback to put up any sort of points between him and Christian Murray. Though I still saw some things that I liked from Murray a lot. Justin, though, showed that he can command the number 1 offense very well. And Christian, on the other hand, I felt is limited, and that's to be expected. You know, he's only like a 64 overall. And yeah, I mean, 0 touchdowns, 2 picks. Not the best showing for Christian, but Still, I think he has some room to grow. For Fields, though, his sake, if he plays like this during the regular season, it's a much improvement. A 73 completion percentage, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. He looked good. He very much did. In terms of running the football, Justin Hill, between the backup running backs, looked the best. Didn't really give Ezekiel Elliott too many opportunities. Probably in the next action will give him a chance, but between Jamal Williams and Elliott, they really didn't showcase anything. Receiving-wise, Jerry Gay here. 7 catches, $130, and a touchdown. He made a ton of plays for this offense, a ton of big-time catches. And, with Cole Kmet right now dealing with an injury, and if he's out for any significant time, Jerry, I feel I'm getting more and more comfortable with him in the offense. And at 6'4", he can make some plays for us. Thomas got involved a lot. No one else really stood out. We got the ball to a lot of different receivers, but Jerry really showed up. The right side of this offensive line was the struggling force. Both George Fant and Dalton Wright, who both played right tackle today, let out some sacks. And defensively, both the 2 young off-ball linebackers played well. Dalton Kelly had a good pass deflection. Robinson got a sack. Same with Chuck Gardner. Overall, and Max Cost got an interception. Overall, I think the defense played well. I know we allowed 34 points. But overall, happy with the first game. Hopefully here, as we enter into week 2 of the preseason, we can continue to improve. And here in preseason week 2, we are here in Miami, as it's the Bears versus the Dolphins. We have Tua, I believe, is still their starting quarterback. He is, versus Justin Fields and company. Preseason week 1, we got to see a lot of Jerry Gay at the tight end position. He played excellent. He was probably the biggest standout. And moving forward, I want to continue to see him standing out. Overall, week 1 was okay. We've just got to continue going at it here. So let's get into the second preseason. As Justin Fields takes over first possession here in week 2. As Justin Hill is getting the start here. I don't really want to see, Tyler Algier this week. So he's going to get this week off, but this is going to get the opportunity, these veteran backs here, to get the ball again to Hill. Let's see what he can do. He goes up the middle, gain of a few. Right now there isn't really a running back between the 2 of them between these veterans that really have stood out too much. I would say Justin Hill is just kind of in the lead right now in terms of potentially taking over. But Fields, can he continue? So far, pretty good preseason, and he wants Cole Kmet. That pass is knocked down, incomplete. Might as well go for it here in the preseason, even though we're at our own 28-yard line here. Fields in an empty look. He looks to throw, as he wants Kendall Bush, who holds on, and he gets the first down and a lot more. High expectations this year for Kendall. Between him and Tyler Scott, we really want to see one of these 2 players have a breakout season and become really the true number 2 playmaker on this offense. We're still trying to find that out, even after 2 full seasons and another off season. Overall wise, I would say it would be Tyler Scott, who's in line to kind of become that type of playmaker for us. But as of right now, we don't know. As DJ Moore here makes this reception, he's only expected to play the first quarter, but still want to see him get some action here today. I don't know if he's going to play in the 3rd preseason game here. So far, good possession here for Chicago as Justin Hill cuts up field for 3. Comes a 3rd down and 5 here. Fields in the shotgun as he looks to throw. Wants Kendall Bush with a good pitch and catch here. And Bush, with his good speed, is able to get the first down as we get inside the 25 now. So far, Justin has looked probably some of his best football up to this point in time in the franchise. And again, this is a make or break it type of season for number one. You know, can he really show this season that he can be our quarterback moving forward? And he's sacked again. Don't really want to see too many sacks in this preseason. The sack here, it's second down and long. Fields looks to throw, wants Tyler Scott, who holds on, and he picks up about 6. And you pick up a third down and 9 here. Fields in the shotgun, looks to throw. Miami sent a blitz, didn't get home. Here's Cole Kmet underneath. That's going to be a 4th down and 2. We'll just go for it. Might as well. In this type of situation, it's a 4th down and 2 here. I kind of want to see if Justin Hill can be able to pick up a first down, and he can. Johnny Derby led the way here as Hill is able to get the conversion. First down and goal here at the 6. Fields, play action fake. He looks to throw. Scrambling outside the pocket. Wants DJ. And Moore can't hold on. It's intercepted here. And that's Deshaun Elliott with the INT. Let's go see our number one defense here. Let's go see if they can play well against Tua. Overall, I have high expectations for this defense. Talked about it a little bit in the first preseason game, but this unit here has a ton of key players in their prime, and we need to take full advantage of their prime here. So hopefully players like C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Jalen Johnson, Tremaine Edmonds, and Josh Allen can all lead the way here for this defense. And then the youth that surrounds them, can they really step into critical roles here? As this is Archie here with a carry upended. That is Tyler Chapman here, or Chamberlain, excuse me. Second down and 2 here. Pistol formation now here. Again, the carry, but this defense wraps him up quickly. Fast forwarding now here. About halfway through the third quarter, Miami has a 35-20 lead. We're now seeing for the backup offense here. Elliott popped off for a big 55-yard run in our last possession, where we were able to score, but we have a few veterans out there, no OBJ, Michael Thomas, but we're getting to see more of Christian Murray here, the rookie quarterback. His pass is broken up. Right now, he has thrown a touchdown, but other than that, you know, it's been all incompletions for him. So we'll see what Murray can do. I mean, it's not like he had an impressive first preseason game, but overall wise, you know, I think you gotta be patient with him, as the screen pass here does not work. Jacoby Brissett got the second quarter. You know, for the veteran quarterback that's currently on the roster, he looked good. You know, long 100-play drive that led us to a score. But other than that, Jacoby played pretty okay defensively. I mean, Dalton Kelly, the rookie corner, has been making a lot of plays. He has a pick 6 in this ball game as Odell Beckham Jr. gets involved underneath here. And I want to see Christian Murray with a couple of veteran receivers. You know, I don't want to throw him out there with nothing to work with. So that's why both Michael Thomas and OBJ is there to really support him more than anything. And Matt Dunn, the speedster, the second-year wideout, catch this pass for 8. Let's see how Christian Murray handles a 3rd down and 11 here. Needing this conversion here. And he has a wide open man here, and Michael Thomas, and Thomas catches it, and he's going to go all the way. Touchdown, Chicago. And this is Michael Thomas's second score of today's action. He caught the first pass from Murray, and now he gets this big long one. He was left wide open here, and he's able to find the end zone here, and Chicago is able to cut into this lead of the Dolphins. Well, 1 quarter to go here in week 2. Christian Murray is leading out his offense here. They're down 41-26. Extra points has been a struggle, and this is the first catch here for Jerry Gay here. We haven't really had an opportunity to be out there on offense too much right now. Number 87 is Alex Harris, and Terrell Douglas is an undrafted running back who's in the backfield. This is Odell Beckham Jr., who's making the catch, breaking free here. The veteran receiver's helping out his young quarterback massively here. Can Beckham go the distance? And he can. Here in preseason week 2, Chicago finds the end zone yet again. This time it's Odell Beckham Jr., and he is definitely fighting for this roster spot. We have a ton of depth at wide receiver. Well, we haven't talked too much about this defense here. This is more the 3rd to the 4th string defense out there. I would say probably some notable names is Dalton Kelly, who has a pick 6 in this game. This is Drew Lock at quarterback. We'll find his man here. This is Isaiah Wolf here with good tackle. But this is the backup defense here. Dalton Kelly has probably been the standout here in week 2. He had a solid week 1 performance for this defense here. We have a whole rookie defensive line, trying to see really the youth here who can play any sort of roles or anything. And at linebacker right now we have Groves, who's a rookie, and Sidney, who's a second-year off-ball linebacker out there. So some veterans, but mostly young playmakers here. This is Nick Chandler here with a good tackle. Drew Luck's been able to throw all over our secondary. I mean, this is the backup, so not expecting high caliber play, but just want to see tackles, want to see some splashes here and there from this defensive side, from at least this unit. We don't have to change the wheel per se. As Drew Lock is in an empty look now, looks to throw, settles underneath now. And this back here has been torching our defense on the ground. This is a spot here. 3rd down and 3 here. Can you get off the field and stop them now? And here's a run here. Cindy can't bring him down, and he's going to go the distance here. Touchdown, Miami. And they're going to continue to extend on their lead. Leono with a rushing touchdown. And here in the second preseason game, Chicago loses 55-41 in a high-scoring affair. A lot of offense in today's action, a lot of points scored. Probably, I know it's the second half and it was versus the number 2 defense, but Christian Murray looked solid out there. He was bailed out a couple times by both Beckham and Thomas, but overall, it's part of the reason you have those guys out there. Between all 3 quarterbacks, Murray did play the best. It was against the backups, but almost 300 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick. Each quarterback threw an interception. I wouldn't say Justin Fields looked bad out there. I like the completion percentage. It's just the turnover and probably not playing enough snaps. Jamal Williams, all 3 of these backs here, they got just about equal amount of touches in a certain way, I guess. Not really, but none of these 3 guys are really standing out to me. Terrell Douglas here, he got 1 carry, but he's been looking better on special teams than anything. In terms of receiving, finally getting more than just one catch for everyone. But Matt Dunn made some good plays. Kendall Bush continues to impress. Jerry caught a touchdown. Beckham and Thomas were able to help out the young quarterback the best they possibly could. Johnny let out a couple sacks, not too worried about that. And then defensively, we got a couple plays here. 2 sacks, a few TFLs across the board. But Kyle Gordon with 2 picks, and Dalton Kelly had a pick 6. So very impressed with Dalton Kelly in this ball game. 4 tackles, an interception, no pass deflections, but Kelly looked good out there. As we have one more preseason game to get through here today. Preseason Week 3 versus the Tennessee Titans. And we'll probably see a little bit more of the backups in today's action. But we're going to play against Baker Mayfield and company. But a lot of our big-name players are not going to be playing. Players like C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Jalen Johnson, DJ Moore. We will see Justin Fields for the first quarter. I want to give him at least one quarter. Murray will play 2 and 3. And for the fourth quarter, we're going to start Carson Curtis, second-year undrafted quarterback. So we'll see what we can do here in the last preseason game, get any more sort of information. We'll start out here on defense. Well, so far to this point right now, I would sit here and say Chuck Garner has been a standout. Stephen Dalton, our young corners have all been standout players, as this pass here is going to go down the field to Traylon Burks here. Baker Mayfield looking good out there. 25-yard completion to start off the rip. But I would sit here and say, what's his name? Chuck Gardner has played probably some of the better football. He has a couple sacks in this preseason. Kyle Gordon, he has a couple interceptions, and it's probably the biggest reason why he has both stayed on the team and is still playing is due to the fact that he can cause turnovers. He can cause disruption out there, and you gotta really like that. That's Steven Timmons here, but the duo of Timmons and Chamberlain will only get the first half today. They've been playing a lot of the preseason. I've been trying to get them as much XP as possible, but don't want to see any injuries, and that's the last thing. Here in Week 3, we want to get out of this preseason completely healthy. We can be healthy. That's huge. We will go over in today's episode at the end of it all the cuts and the final starting depth charts here, but right now, there's still a ton of decisions to be made. Who's going to make it at wide receiver? Who's going to make it at corner? Between Beckham and Michael Thomas, those two guys are trying to make an impression here. We'll see who's the backs on this roster here. Not too many of them have really stood out here, and I really want to see someone make some plays. But here is Chuck Gardner in the backfield. The 8th overall selection. That's I believe, his 3rd sack of the preseason. And if he plays like that during the regular season, hey, we have an excellent duo with him and Josh Allen in this up-and-coming year 3. But more play action here for Baker Mayfield. Plenty of time. No one is open. Takes his deep shot, and that's Stevenson with the INT. His first of the preseason. He's trying to keep up with Kyle Gordon here. You might have to argue that one of these two, we can't keep both. We have so much depth at corner. He just makes that big play. Now we get to see Justin Fields. Justin Fields is out there. No DJ Moore in this ball game. Want to give him a week off here. But Kendall Bush and company are out there. Matt Dunn is going to get the opportunity to be the other outside receiver. But Kendall has been an excellent receiver in this preseason, and I'm looking forward to his year 2 campaign. I think he's primed to have himself a very good season. Jamal Williams here with the carry will not go far. Tennessee does not want to see a Jeffrey Simmons injury, especially here in the last preseason game. Jerry Gay is going to get the entire ball game at tight end, so I do expect him to have a good volume of receptions, at least a few. But Fields will settle underneath here. And I do think here, even regardless of what Christian Murray does, I think we all know that I was going to start Justin in week 1 and moving forward. It's really throughout this regular season, what can Justin Fields truly do? Can he really both keep his job, and does it make sense to keep him long term? I mean, obviously we have the franchise tag if we want to keep him on the roster, but that's going to be north of $30+ million, and he is needing a new contract, so it's either pay him or trade him, basically. So could you argue the first 7 ball games of this season is not just a major test for Fields? Absolutely. I mean, Fields has to go out there and really prove himself all over again. I mean, he kept his job because of the fact that I kind of mismanaged the draft, but if I didn't do that, I think we would have had a very different option here. But right now, Fields is the quarterback. We're going to continue trucking along with him, and I think Fields can win us some football games. I really do. We got to be able to continue helping him out as much as we can, and I think we have a very good unit here across the offensive line, across the defense. It's just now putting out a good product here for this team here. Cole Kmet right now is the starting number 2 tight end, so that's why he's still getting some snaps here. I want to see, maybe Clement, this is the duo at tight end, as Smith with the sack here. We'll face a 3rd down and 12 here. I mean, Fields needs to be able to show that he can get these conversions, maybe not completely consistently, but consistently enough. This is Matt Dumm who holds on, but it's 4th down, and we'll go for it here. It's the preseason, might as well. I'm not too worried about the kicking. I know we missed 2 extra points, but it was a rainy day. I can't sit here and just full-on blame my kicker. It's probably more my fault. But Jamal Williams here, that's the thing. Between whoever's in the other back on this roster, they need to be able to catch the football out of the backfield. And Williams showed right there, at least he can make the catch. And if that's the case, it's going to improve his chances of making this roster here. So we're going to go a little play action now. Fields looking end zone, and he's going to be intercepted here. That's Sean Murphy Bunting with the INT. Both quarterbacks have interceptions. And now we'll get to see, again, Baker Mayfield. Well, skipping to now the 4th quarter, Chicago has a 28-10 lead. This is Carson Curtis, 2nd-year quarterback, who was undrafted a year ago, was on our practice squad as well. He's right now going to get these last 6 minutes to really showcase anything between trying to just basically make the preseason roster. We have a lot of backups out there, a lot of players fighting for roles. Michael Thomas is out there. It's Jonah Williams. That's probably one of the first injuries we've really seen in today's, in the second half of this episode here. That's a pretty significant injury if he can't go. But Carson looks like he can't even complete a pass. I mean, he was on the practice squad. He went undrafted for a reason. Just did not expect him to look this poor as of this moment in time. I don't know who we have at right tackle. I think that's Brad that's out there right now, or left tackle, excuse me. But here's Michael Thomas with a good catch and run. He's been making a lot of good plays for us. He has a couple touchdowns. He's been playing quality football. I mean, as of right now, still so many questions. It's going to be a tough cut day because we have a ton of players that, in my opinion, would make a lot of teams' rosters. But overall, they've it's going to be a tough decision making. We have a ton of depth on this roster. It makes me very excited. It's a good problem to have, but a lot of tough decisions at the end of today's episode, as this pass for Harris is incomplete. A 1 for 5 here for Carson here. Really very much showcasing that he might not even make the practice squad roster, moving forward. But here comes a 3rd down, meeting this conversion. Wants his backup tight end, and that pass is incomplete. We'll go for it here on 4th down, and if we don't convert, this might be the last commentary play of this game. Defensively, we look fairly good here. We're up by 18. But we have a wide open tight end, Anderson, here, and he won't be able to get up the field. Turnover on downs. Carson, what the fuck are you? And here in the final preseason game, Chicago will be beating the Tennessee Titans 35-17. Well, preseason is wrapped up. We went 1-2, and you can make a very solid argument that Christian Murray might deserves an opportunity to be the starting quarterback of this Bears team. Murray went out there 16 of 25, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, or 1 interception, excuse me. Every quarterback played in today's game. Carson looked the worst in my opinion, but Jacoby Brissett filled in pretty solidly. I think we know our 3 quarterbacks. Justin, again, wish that he just didn't have those turnovers. It would make him look so much better. Terrell Douglas, he looked good out there. He scored a touchdown. Still don't really know who I'm going to go at running back, but Jerry Gay here, $112 and 2 scores. He looked good. Alex Harris, an undrafted rookie receiver, almost went for 100 and a touchdown. Thomas found the end zone. We got a couple other players involved. 1 sack allowed here by Green. And then we got a ton of interceptions. I mean, Stevenson got 2, Abram got 1, Wolf got 1, Timmons got 1, Gordon got 1, and hopefully this really registers during the regular season. Chuck Gardner had a sack, and Robinson and Dexter both combined for a sack as well. But overall, solid preseason. We'll go through all the stats and make all the roster moves. Let's go through some stats here. The 3 preseason games, Christian Murray, 8 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. And that's the argument right there. He was able to find the end zone. He was able to make some plays. He's a rookie quarterback, 67 overall. And he just made some plays for us. And it's definitely impressive here. But I think what you have to look at it in terms of Justin Fields, even though he also threw 4 interceptions and had 5 less interceptions, he has a better completion percentage. He has a better yards per attempt. He was sacked a little less. And Murray just played more. And I do think that if Fields got more opportunities, he probably would have showcased a little bit more of his ability. But overall, I'm not too worried about it. I think we all know that Justin is our guy, but Christian definitely made it a good competition. In terms of the running game, Zeke Elliott had a 55-yard run, but if you take that away, he has barely less than 10 yards or something, maybe less than 15 yards. Tyler Algier, he looked good. I don't know which one of these veteran backs are going to be our backup. But Jerry Gay, outstanding preseason, 17 catches, 250-plus yards, and 4 scores. Looked good out there. And he is definitely making... His name is felt here in this locker room. And Cole Kmet should look out. Michael Thomas, 9 catches, 200 yards, and 3 scores. Alex Harris out of Columbia. He looked good out there. He's an excellent short route runner. Other than that, he doesn't do anything particularly well, but I think he looked good out there when given the opportunities. Happy about that. I tried to give everyone some playing time. The offensive line, I would say the right side of the line really struggled, but this left guard spot, I mean, Johnny's expected to be the starter, but I mean, if he struggles, that's going to be tough for our defense, or our offensive line, excuse me. Defensively, well, we got a hell of a ton of interceptions. Kyle Gordon had 3, Stevenson had 2, and then a bunch of players got a couple turnovers themselves. Chuck Gardner had 3 sacks, 3 TFLs as well. Hoping entering into the regular season we can be this ball hawking type of secondary, and they're looking like it right now. Very happy about that. Obviously, I don't know just yet what we're going to be doing at corner. It's going to be a tough sledding. TFLs led by Gardner, Stevenson, and CJ Speed made an impact. Field goals, we didn't attempt any, but we missed 2 extra points during a rainy day. Not worried about that. Terrell Douglas did make a lot of a key impact on kick returns. I would say we started averagely right around in plus 25 yards, and I definitely think that that's very good here for Douglas and potentially making the roster. Only a few punt returns, but let me go trim down this roster, and I'll showcase any sort of significant moves. Well, I have gotten the roster down to 53. A few notable names. Michael Thomas got cut. Marcus May got cut. Barnett got cut. Jacob Martin got cut. Jamal Williams got cut. And same thing here with Carson Curtis. A few players went to the practice squad. I'll fill out the rest of the practice squad in just a moment and show you guys. But for reasons why Marcus Peters or Marcus May and Michael Thomas didn't make the roster, I do think that Beckham made just as many impressive plays, and you know, it's easier to save money keeping him. You know, for both Elliott and for Williams, I just don't think that they really showed the oomph that we needed. Now, Elliott did have that big run, which is, you know, something that Justin Hill didn't do, but I can't sit here and base one 55-yard run and then look at 63 yards rushing and say to myself, well, at least he could hit the home runs at some point in time. I don't know how often Ezekiel Elliott will be able to hit the home run. So overall, those are the roster moves we made. I'm going to check out free agency, see if there's anyone else, and then I'll put together the starting depth chart. And for week 1, this will be the starting team. Still sticking with Justin Fields at quarterback. There's really no changes across the board in terms of these receivers. The receiving room stayed very much the same. But Tyler Algier, new starting running back. We're going with the 2 veterans here in Justin Hill and Ezekiel Elliott. I think that they can both provide a little bit of something if necessary. But BJ Cash is expected to be the backup to basically Tyler Algier. They're both going to be playing significant time. Going to start the best 5 starting offensive linemen, though. Right tackle here on Darnell Wright here, he's struggled, and has not developed in really the best way that I feel. He's all around a solid tackle, but I have 2 guys behind him that are veterans that definitely deserve an opportunity if Wright can't play well. Of course, we have Nate Davis to play basically any spot on this offensive line, and I hope don't really see too much of him. For right now, we will be starting Cole Kmet. You could be saying that, hey, give Gay an opportunity, and I would not disagree with you guys at all. But for right now, we're going to stick with Cole Kmet, give him his opportunities. Hopefully, Kmet can become the tight end that we hope he can be. Defensively, well, across the board, you know, we have CJ Gardner-Johnson and Eddie Jackson starting at safety, Max Cox and Jalen Johnson at corner. I did keep Stevenson and Kyle Gordon. of course, Dalton Kelly, he stand out excellently during the preseason. And does that mean that I'm going to ship one of these two guys off or both? Possibly. But as of right now, they're both on the roster, and I'm not expecting myself to trade either one of them. For the base defense, this will be the starting defensive line. I want to see these guys make some plays. And then here are the specialists. Max Cox will play in the slot. We're going to give rookie Wilkins here. He's going to get the opportunity. He has excellent pass rushing moves, and I think he can be able to get to the quarterback. So him and Dexter will be teaming up. Same with Martinez in the base defense here. And then for Tyler Chapman and Stevenson and Timmons here, they're both going to probably play significant time. But for right now, we're going to go with Tyler Chapman, Tyler Scott in the slot, DJ Cash, our third back, and then Ezekiel Elliott will be our power guy. I know we could start Tyler Algier, but we have Elliott on the roster. It's might as well utilize him the best we can. Of course, expect this team to change throughout the regular season, us putting players in different spots. And we're going to enter here in year 3 with high expectations. I want us to be able to win some football games. We have a good team. We have the core on defense. It's really just up to this youth of the roster to step into it. Can Justin Fields step up into the next to be our future at quarterback? But guys, I greatly appreciate you guys watching the preseason video. I know this video is a little weird, between just us going around and randomly talking about the team and stuff. But please leave a like, comment down below what you thought. Let me know down below if there was any moves that I should make or any sort of trades. Do you think I should start Jerry Gay at tight end? Do you think I should go with Christian Murray at quarterback? Do you think that I should start who should start at the other corner spot? Right now I'm leaning to start Stevenson. Let me know down below, and I will see you in the next one.